What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this fragrance video, what we're going to talk about are 5 fragrances that will have everybody's heads turning. These are the 5 fragrances for me that have some of the highest head turning, neck breaking appeal in the market. And these are all designer fragrances, so they're really not going to break the bank too much, but they will be fragrances that definitely garner a lot of attention. So when you think of, things that have head turning appeal, they have a very well blended array of notes that are put well together. They definitely have a strong projection. They have good lasting power, and they are very, very, very aromatic fragrances. So first and foremost is a fragrance that I've mentioned on the channel before. It's one of my favorites, and it's still got a good amount of fragrance in it, but I'm gonna have to get a new bottle. This one here is called Armani Code Profumo. So Armani Code Profumo is going to be one of those fragrances again that's going to have the note of cardamom and green apple with a mixture of lavender and tonka bean. So very, very aromatic oriental fragrance that has a blend of fresh, but then also a blend of herbs and a blend of spiciness to it. Very well blended. Also really good lasting power and projection. I would wear that out to a club. I can wear that to a date. So the versatility of Armani Code Profumo is one of the reasons why I love this fragrance and how I have this on the list. Second fragrance is a little bit more rich, from a fragrance collection. I mentioned Givenchy, a few times on my channel, but this one here has a little bit more of a richness. It's sort of cocoa, so a little bit of a cacao note in there that really is a little bit more nutty as opposed to its other fragrances in its line. But this one here is called Givenchy Gentleman. This one is Reserve Pre. So Reserve Pre, you're going to have your bergamot, you're going to have your iris, which is common amongst most Givenchy fragrances, and then they're going to add some whiskey and chestnut. So the nutty, boozy accord that they have in there definitely adds a level of richness, level of booziness. I would wear this one more so for a dinner, date night, in the evening rather than to a club. The club atmosphere to me for Reserve Pre is a little too rich, a little bit too mature, versus, clubbing atmospheres, you want it a little bit more light in the mood. So for this one, definitely your date night, sort of black tie, black suit, button-down shirt kind of appeal. Next one here is going to have you smelling like victory, and I do mean that literally. So this one is from the brand Paco Rabanne. Now, Paco Rabanne, we all know Paco Rabanne for 1 million and 1 million Elixir, and the line goes on. But then they came out with their Invictus line, and their Invictus line is more so known for the fresher appeal. So, you have your Invictus Aqua, Invictus Platinums, but they came out with this one, and they've since added another one to it, but I really like this one here. This one is called Invictus Victory. So Invictus Victory is going to have your pink pepper, your lemon. So there's your fresher cores there, but then it's also going to have some olibanum, that vanilla, amber, and tonka bean. So again, you're going to see a common theme with these type of head turning fragrances. It's just a matter of how they're blended, and the pink pepper and lemon gives it that sort of fresh, invigorating, uplifting opening. And then as it gets to the lavender and the vanilla and the dry down, you definitely are like, it's a bit of a welcoming surprise, and then it's like, oh, that's really nice. And then that trail, that sillage as it gets to its dry down is really what kind of gets people's attention, especially when I've worn it. So I definitely love this one because of that appeal. I definitely would wear this one to a club setting more so. The projection is really good. Also, the lasting power on this one's really good too. All right, so next one, one of my favorites. I'm gonna need another bottle, I'm sure, here soon. From one of my favorite brands, probably one of my top 3 favorite brands, even though it's a designer, Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, I toyed whether I wanted to go with my other favorite, but I'm gonna go with this one here. This one here is called Lal Elixir. So your Lal DNA, you're gonna have your lavender, your mint, then you're gonna have your benzoin. They added honey to Lal Elixir, and I remember when I first got it and when it first entered the community, a lot of people were kind of skeptic as far as, will the honey note work? Will it kind of overpower the fragrance? But for me, they've really, really done it quite smoothly, quite beautifully. And people have said that when I've worn this fragrance, again, always getting compliments on it, always getting like, what are you wearing? I need that now. I need to get that for my man. I need to get that for myself, so on and so forth. So you definitely get your same Lal DNA, your same Lal, fragrance notes, but then you get that honey note that really takes this one over the edge. And that's really, I think, the note in this fragrance that really gets people's attention is like, what is that? How did they do that? How did they pull that off? And then you create conversations when you have that type of thing. last one on the list, an oldie but a goodie. You know, probably one of the first fragrances I got when I collected, but it's still good and it still has a high quality too. You know, a lot of fragrances tend to be, you know, discontinued, or they tend to be reformulated. And so this one here is going to be called Victor and Rolf. This one is Spice Bomb Extreme. So Spice Bomb Extreme, you know, it's really a fragrance that is known for smelling a little bit Christmassy. So I would say that it's a little bit more niche as far as its value and its purpose. But to me, I still love it. You get your vanilla, you get your tobacco, cinnamon, and you get your whiskey and saffron. So again, it's known for obviously the spice and the bomb. So you get that with your tobacco, your cinnamon. But the whiskey note is really kind of blended. It's kind of hidden. You get that vanilla and that saffron. So for me, Spice Bomb Extreme is one of my favorite because the lasting power, I mean, you almost have to shower to get it off. One, you don't need that many sprays of it, and it will last you all day long. So if you know you're going to be in a place where it's going to be colder, it's going to be a little bit cooler, you're going to be at a nighttime. Definitely, this is a club, one of the top club, you know, fragrances for me. And one where you really aren't going to rely on having a fragrance for too long, but you just need a couple sprays to get you out the door. I would go with Spice Bomb Extreme, but man, I think that's a good list, and that's a good array of fragrances too. You know, all 5 of those, I think you cannot go wrong with any of them. But that'll do it. So again, remember that when we're talking about fragrance, we all want to smell good. We want to garner compliments, and you want to be able to stick out and be the top smelling person in the room. You want to be the most unique person in the room. I think these 5 fragrances definitely help you achieve that goal and that task. All right. But remember to subscribe down low. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this fellow fragrance head. We're just trying to grow the community, and we'll catch you on the next one. Make sure y'all let me know which videos you want me to do next, and I'll get them done. Much love.